Hey, what's up YouTube? I'm Dex.
I'm Mike.
And today we're going to talk about Mr. Sinister, who was announced as the new villain in the upcoming Wolverine 3 movie.
You shall not interfere with my greatest experiment.
I'm really excited about this. Mr. Sinister was one of my favorite X-Men villains. Did you like him?
Oh yeah, I loved him. In fact, I was actually always scared of him as a little kid when I watched him on TV. On the X-Men cartoon.
Yeah.
I was always like, this guy creeps me out.
I should have let you die.
Well, he was always a good alternative to Magneto, who was like the villain like every episode. You know?
Yeah, he was just somebody different.
Yeah.
You were like, who's this guy?
Yeah.
Yes.
So if you can recall, Mr. Sinister, there's a little Easter egg at the end of X-Men Apocalypse with the little vial of blood, which was a symbol that, you know, Mr. Sinister is coming. It's been rumored that Wolverine 3 will be the Old Man Logan storyline, which is an iconic Wolverine storyline. So basically, the gist of it is the supervillains have ruled the Earth. They've taken over. Villains like Dr. Doom, Magneto, the Red Skull, and the world is like a post-apocalyptic wasteland. And Wolverine has survived after all the heroes have been killed, and he's living there with his family. And long story short, the Hulk's grandchildren kills Wolverine's family, which leads to an epic battle between Wolverine and the Hulk. So a little bit about Mr. Sinister. He debuted in the Uncanny X-Men number 221 in September 1987. Mr. Sinister has regenerative powers like Wolverine. But he's more powerful than Wolverine. Mr. Sinister can regenerate from a single drop of blood. Mr. Sinister is a geneticist. He's into cloning X-Men characters and himself throughout the comics history. In the comics, Mr. Sinister has an obsession with Scott Summers, which is who is Cyclops. He has a obsession with the Summers bloodline. Mr. Sinister believes that Scott Summers' bloodline will lead to the creation of a very powerful mutant who would have the ability to destroy Apocalypse. And in the storyline in Ultimate Comics, Scott Summers' Cyclops has a son named Cable, who is a very powerful mutant. And as we all know, Cable is supposed to be featured in Deadpool 2. And I think this might be a way for them to bridge all the movies together, like Wolverine, Deadpool, X-Men. So I think it's a very good transition character.
Yeah. All right. So now to go into some origins of how did Mr. Sinister become Mr. Sinister? Okay. So Nathaniel Essex, it was a biologist who lived in London in 1859, and he was fascinated with Charles Darwin and his whole, all of his theories. So somehow he figured out that mutants were among us, and he wanted to do experiments on humans to kind of maybe find the link between humans and mutants, and to kind of make like the super mutants and stuff like that. So obviously these were crazy ideas, and they kicked him out of the science community, and basically they kicked him out of society. So when this happened, Apocalypse decided that this was the perfect time to go to Nathaniel Essex and introduce himself, and to ask him, of course, to make a virus that would basically kill everyone in the world who was weak. It sounds normal. But of course he struggled with this choice because, he had like an unborn son and he had a wife, and he didn't really know if he wanted to make, such a big commitment. But as he spent more and more time with Apocalypse, his wife ended up hating him more and more. And because of this hate, she ended up dying. And of course, the unborn child also died. So this is where Apocalypse jumps at the chance with Nathaniel Essex and promises him great powers. And from that day on, he becomes Mr. Sinister, which, by the way, is what his wife would call him, because of his relationship with Apocalypse. And basically some more of what his powers are is he has super strength, super speed, he can regenerate. But oddly enough, the only thing that seems to hurt him is Cyclops' eye beamer. which is kind of weird. But, you know, he also can, you know, like teleport, and he can do, you know, all these things. So it will be interesting to see if him in the Wolverine 3 film, to see how Wolverine is going to battle him.
Should be a good fight.
It should be a good fight.
Cut each other to pieces and regenerate.
Exactly. Yes. So, if there's anything else that you guys want to know about Mr. Sinister, we are fascinated with this character.
And also, if there's anything else that we didn't cover that you know about Mr. Sinister, please comment below.
Yes, and we will definitely make another video about that. Alright, so thanks for watching.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
And we will see you guys next time.